Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmani Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupine Bhumne Sada Paradayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnanagamya Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnanagamya Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmani Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari Om Tat Sat. See, we often say that we have to go to the office, we have so much of workload, we have to look after the family, so we don't get time for sadhana. So there Bhagavad Gita is absolutely clear and firm in saying that we don't need any special time for sadhana, but we have to convert our whole life into a sadhana. That's a very, very significant point of Bhagavad Gita. That is, you may have meditation, you may have some contemplative sadhana, you may read the scriptures, but apart from that, the rest of the interactive period has to be completely converted into sadhana. This is the special message of Bhagavad Gita. That is, generally we consider interactions to be a hindrance to our spiritual progress, to our spiritual sadhana. Bhagavad Gita repeatedly mentions the interactions have to be used as an instrument to take us to liberation. They are not hindrance, but they are the real support to our spiritual sadhana. So those some points I just, as summary I have mentioned, that reinforcing 1 hour meditative sadhana with interactional sadhana every moment. Now you may think that what is this interactional sadhana? The whole Bhagavad Gita, except in very few places, it is discussing interactional sadhana, which is referred to as Buddhi Yoga, We say karma yoga, but Bhagavad Gita has used the word karma yoga, but basically it is talking about buddhi yoga, because karma yoga is not doing karma, but to do anything whatever we are doing with the yoga attitude. So the karma has to become a yoga to say that I am doing karma yoga. If we just do karma, it cannot be called a yoga. It is the yoga attitude of our mind which makes our actions, interactions to be a sadhana, a pursuit. Number 2, interactions are not to be shunned but to be used for personality transformation. Number 3, the goal of meditational sadhana, realizing the universal self, we can call it our real identity, to be made the goal of interactions also by incorporating the soul dimensions in mind. This is very important. This perhaps is my way of explaining Bhagavad Gita sadhana, that we have to understand it very well. Then we won't have any further confusion in our spiritual pursuit. What are we aiming at in Vedantic sadhana, in real spiritual inquiry? In our meditation or contemplation over the scriptural truth, what are we attempting to know? We are trying to discover who am I. Is it not that most of you will be knowing? That means that the sense of I is coming from within. It is not coming from elsewhere, anywhere. It's coming from within. And this I is such that everything else is revealed by this I. This I is the seer and knower of everything else, revealer of everything else. For example, our own body, the I is knowing, seeing. The body is changing from childhood. Every day, every moment the body is undergoing change. But the I which does not change is seeing that my body is changing. It's my body, it's not the I. Although we confuse sometimes we say my body is not alright today, sometimes we say I am sick today. So sometimes possessive case, sometimes subjective. That's a confusion. Truly speaking, I am watching my body. I am knowing my body. The body is revealed by I. The body is seen by the I or known by the I. Now it's not only the body, even about mind also, that the mind, whatever thoughts are coming, I am knowing that. I is not the thoughts. The mind every moment is changing. It is undergoing sukha, dukkha, that is suffering and happiness, unhappiness, anger, fondness, everything. Whatever is happening, the I being unchanging, it is observing the changes taking place in the mind. So the I is the revealer and seer of the mind also. Like that you find anything, the emotion, the I is revealing. The intelligence, that it was sharp yesterday, today it is dull, or maybe today it is sharp, yesterday it was dull. So that also is revealed by the I. So everything is revealed by the I. Then who is this I? Now we have no doubt that this I is coming from within. But can we locate this I? So in the whole spiritual process starts with the effort to discover this, who am I? Who is the real I inside? So with that we focus within to find out, oh no, I thought the body is what I am. No, the body I am seeing, the mind I am seeing, the thoughts are coming, going, I am seeing, the emotion I am seeing. Then what is that I? So we try to locate that I. So for that we do meditation, we do contemplation, we do the reading of the Shastras. Everything is done to discover who am I. Now, can we not say that the goal of this meditation or any other, we call it non-interactional sadhana. We are not interacting. We are either reading the Shastras, we are contemplating on the truth, or we are meditating. The goal of that is to discover our real identity, the I. Is there any confusion regarding that? Now that is the goal of meditation. A little I can say that when we start looking at it, it is within us. We have to focus within, leaving everything as outer, as object. We are focusing within who is that subject. But when we actually are able to discover, then we understand that it is not different from me. Suppose initially we are trying to see what is that I. But there is a mistake in that very effort, because I is what I am. I is seeing everything. So the same I cannot see the I as different from itself. Is it clear? The I cannot discover the identity I as different from itself. It is the same as itself. So when we understand that, then finally the discovery becomes that I has to reveal itself, otherwise we will never know what is I. So it leads to a sort of surrender, you can say. That is the most efficient sadhana. That we leave all our effortfulness. I don't know anything, I am not able to, because how can I look at the I? Every time I try to see the I, we are making the I non-I, because if I see that I, then it is an object before me. So our very effort is making the I non-I, the subject as non-subject, as an object. We are objectivizing the subject. Is this expression better? Our very effort is objectivizing the subject, which is the subject I am actually objectivizing by trying to know it. So we leave all our effortfulness, and in meditation we try to become effortless. That is everywhere, whether it is Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita or even Yoga Sutras also. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras also, the first is Sthira Sukha Asanam. That is, we have to sit very comfortably so that the mind doesn't go to the body. The second is itself Prayatna Shaithilya. That means, Prayatna means effort, Shaithilya means looseness. That means effortlessness. This is the very, very fundamental principle of undertaking the dhyana sadhana. Prayatna Shaithilya, effortlessness. Even I am meditating, I have to look into the I. That is also an effort. We are focusing within. Is it that I? It is an effort. We have to become absolutely effortless. And when can we become effortless? When we let go everything. When we surrender our effort completely, that I don't know anything, I surrender all, we become effortless, then the Atma reveals. So that is the aim of our meditation and sadhana. Now here in this statement we are saying that whatever is the goal of meditation and sadhana, that has to be the goal of our interactional life also. Here everybody will have some confusion, and the questions we regularly face is that when I am acting, my mind is on the action, my mind is on the objective world. So how can I meditate, or how can I think of the soul, or how can I think of the God when I am active? Actually, we don't have to think of the God or meditate on that while active. It is impossible. But in our active life, can we introduce the soul dimensions in our mind? How? Suppose the soul we finally discover going within, when we are successful in discovering the soul, that soul is, or say Atma, is universal. Everywhere it is the same, all pervading. It is the never changing. That is only the immortal. That all of you have read so many times. Na jayate na mriyate ba kadachit. It is the only immortal concept we can have. In creation, whatever we can find out in creation, including our own body, mind, personality, nothing can be immortal. Because creation means it is born. There is a change. Born means it will undergo a change, decay, and finally it will undergo destruction, mrityu. So in the entire creation, we won't find anything as immortal. Forget about the body. Nothing is immortal. Everything is mortal. The only immortality is possible in the case of the revealer of this objective world. The whole universe, which is created universe, is appearing in in the consciousness. That consciousness can never undergo any change. All the changes are seen in that consciousness alone, in the world which is appearing in the consciousness. So, only immortality or unchanging element is the Atma. So that Atma, we always read that it is never getting affected by anything. It doesn't undergo Sukha Dukkha. The Sukha Dukkha belong to the mind, but the Atma does not get affected by Sukha Dukkha. The Atma never gets elated by victory or depressed by failure, success, failure. Bhagavad Gita, every chapter it is being said that Samatva. Atma is the ultimate pinnacle of Samatva. It never gets elated by success or depressed by failure. So if this is the Atma dimension, if these are the parameters of the Atma, if this is the Atmic dimension, what Bhagavad Gita asks us to do is to incorporate these dimensions in our mind when we are active. I will give you the example. What was Arjuna saying in the first chapter? Ahovata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yat rajya sukhalobhena hantum svajana mudyataha. He said that we are out to commit a great sin, one of the greatest sins. Mahat papam. Why? Because yat rajya sukhalobhena hantum svajana mudyataha. We are going to kill our own people, not only own people. My most beloved grandfather in whose lap I have grown, I have to kill him because he is standing on the opposite side. And the most respected teacher Drona, from whom I have learned the archery, and I have to apply my vidya to kill him. They are all standing on the opposite side. And this we are going to do for what? Yat Rajya Sukha Lobhena. For winning the kingdom, which we don't have now. And as if the kingdom, becoming king is a Sukha. It is never so, but Arjuna was deluded. The king's life is the most difficult and disturbed life. You ask your managing director in your company. It's the most difficult part. He has to give capital punishments also sometimes. And sometimes the punishment may go wrong. A good king's life is never luxurious. It is full of thorns. So he says, Yat Rajya Sukha Lobhena. Out of the greed for enjoying the comfort or happiness of kingship, we are going to kill our most beloved grandfather and the most respected teacher. So is it not a Mahat Papa? If he really does so for winning the kingdom, and what? Having happiness by ruling the kingdom out of the greed for that, if he kills his own grandfather and own teacher, then we cannot think of greater Papa than this. It's one of the most sinful deeds. So he says that we are fighting the war for this purpose. So it is most sinful. And the whole Bhagavad Gita is to change Arjuna's mindset, not his action. He still fought the war, and every time Krishna is ending by saying Tasmat Vyudhyasva Bharata. Tasmat Vyudhyasva Bharata. He is asking him, exhorting him to fight. Fight, but with what mindset? Because the world has become corrupted, the kings have become corrupt, and we have to establish a righteous rule on earth. To save the society, we have to establish righteous rule on earth, and we have to, in the process, we have to fight the war. Without the war, it cannot be done. Whoever is standing on the other side, we have to kill them. be it my grandfather or teacher, for whatever reason, whoever is standing on the other side, we have to kill them. It happens in the military also even now. After independence, it was very much there. The military got divided between India and Pakistan. And some of the generals were close friends. And right after independence, they had to fight. So it happens because once you are fighting, the purpose is much higher than personal relationship, personal friendship or anything. It's for the country you are doing. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is to change Arjuna's mindset to, no, you are not fighting for any greed for the happiness of ruling, the happiness from the kingship or so. You are fighting because it is a necessity to establish, to save the society, we have to establish the righteous rule. So, where is the change coming? Initially, our mind is always cluttered by some selfish relationship, selfish gain. Arjuna's mind was saying greed for enjoying the kingdom. So, it is a selfish gain. Or it is hindered by some personal relationship or personal likes and dislikes. Basically, whole Bhagavad Gita, they have summarized the whole thing by likes and dislikes. That we are acting in the world because we cling to what we like and we hate what we dislike, or we are intolerant about what we dislike. So the whole actions are always guided by likes and dislikes, by the raga and dvesha. Raga dvesha is the cardinal point of Bhagavad Gita. Because of that, if the result, the objective result is not according to the desired result, we become dukkhi or depressed. And if the objective result is according to whatever we have expected, according to our likes, we become elated. This is the whole mindset which has been treated in Bhagavad Gita, that we have to do whatever is to be done as it is coming. Whatever we are feeling righteous, whatever has to be done, we have to do. There the personal gain element has to be kept away. The personal preference, raga, dvesha, preference and prejudice also have to be kept away. So, if this is the mindset incorporated, then what is happening? Is it not coming closer to the soul or the Atma concept which we are trying to attain in through meditation? As long as we are haunted by our raga, dvesha, we won't be able to attain Atmic dimension in our meditation also. And that has to be treated during our interactional life, because interactional life will point out, suppose you are going to talk to somebody. If your intelligence is alert, you will find that intelligence is telling you that you are behaving selfishly. You are reacting in a selfish manner. It is not the way. You have to think in a much more impersonal manner, in a liberal manner, in a universal manner. So all our behavior, we will find that we are actually reinforcing our smallness. Smallness means we are encapsulated by the body-mind personality, and that we consider to be I. Whereas the real I is, everyone's I is the same, I is universal. So in all our behavior, wherever we are looking for personal gain, looking for our, according to our raga, dvesha, our cling to our likes and hating what we dislike, all those, that mental attitude has to be changed. The mind has to be freed of raga and dvesha. Mind has to be freed of all its clinging to what it likes and all its intolerance towards what it dislikes. So this is the interactional sadhana Bhagavad Gita is saying. Now you cannot do it while meditating. You may do sitting also, thinking of throughout the day, what have you done. You can think of that and go on acting on that. Though no, that was a selfish motive, or this was my, according to my preference or prejudice. So I should not have done this, I should do it, I do. That you can do, but generally you will not do. If you think like that, you will doze. So the best way to do is remain when you are interacting. That is the time you can be watchful and see where the mind is going wrong, where the mind is becoming small, where it is becoming selfish, where it is becoming clinging to preference and prejudice. So this is a great step of Bhagavad Gita, where they are putting the aim of the meditational sadhana as the aim of interactions throughout the day also. So you cannot say, I cannot do the sadhana because I have to work in the office and work in the kitchen or home or so. Because throughout the day, whatever you are doing, this interactional sadhana has to be active. So the sadhana is spread over the entire day, every moment of our life, through every activity, so that the mind grows beyond its preference, prejudice, raga, dvesha. Acha, this much only is the speciality of Bhagavad Gita. I have briefly said, because that is not our main topic. Main topic is the Tri-guna model. Now, in Bhagavad Gita, how to go about this, how to make the mind expansive, how to make the mind grow from its smallness, selfishness, constricted attitude to an universal attitude, impersonal attitude. All these are discussed with respect to different models, different model of sadhana. All the sadhana discussed are more or less same in its effect. But they have given so that we can utilize all of them or any of them according to our life and style and all. Like suppose the main sadhana Bhagavad Gita has spoken of is the samatva. That means to remain equal vision, have the equal vision in both sukha and dukkha, jaya and in victory and loss, in gain and loss. That is taking all the diversities with equal mindedness. This is one sadhana. Another sadhana is called, the fourth chapter is yajna bhavana. That means in the karma kanda of the Vedas, where the rituals are spoken of, anybody will do any yajna, perform any yajna, only when he is interested in the result promised by the yajna. Suppose one yajna, if you do it, Aṣṭāvakra-samhitā yajna, then you will become the emperor of the world. Now, if there is no question of king becoming king or emperor, he will not do Aṣṭāvakra. Dasharatha did the putra kameshti yaga. Why? Because he wanted son. He had only daughter, Uma. So he wanted son, so he did putra kameshti yaga. Like that in Kathopanishad, Nachiketa's father was doing Vishwajit yaga because he had a concept of a Swarga where he wanted to go. It was according to him, it was a very lucrative Swarga. So everybody will perform a yaga or yajna provided he is interested in the result promised in the yajna. You get the point? In the karma kanda, nobody will perform the yajna if he is free of desires. Whereas in jnana kanda of the Vedas, only you are asked to get rid of all desires. So there is no question of such yajna at all. If you don't have desire, why should you perform yajna? Because yajna is giving you this result, and for that you are doing. But Bhagavad Gita did a magical trick there. He said that not only this Agni Yajna or so, you have to convert all your actions into Yajna by making them free of desires. That is, normally we are acting always motivated by the desire. Our karma is always motivated by desire. Without the desire, we don't act. Bhagavad Gita says that if you do anything without motivated by, not being motivated by desire, then it becomes yajna. How? What is the point there? Because the whole universe is moving without desire. The earth is going around the sun, the moon is going around the earth. On the earth, the rain is coming down, the grass and the other herbs are growing, flowers are blossoming, fruits are coming and falling. Anyway, there is no desire at all. It's just the flower. It blossoms even if nobody sees. Suppose Nandan Kanan and all. Most of the part of the year, nobody comes to see the flowers. But they are the most beautiful blossoms throughout the year. The flower doesn't say that, oh, tomorrow nobody is going to appreciate me. I will not blossom tomorrow. Next day I will blossom. Some people are coming. For us, it is we will put up a better dress and paint our face and all only when we have to go to a meeting or see people. Because we want appreciation from people or praise from them. Appreciation for our beauty or our personality, all these things. But the nature doesn't have anything like that. If it had the desire, then the whole nature would have been different. Suppose the earth starts feeling that I am moving for millions of years, I have been moving in the same orbit in the same manner. Can I not take rest for half a second? Or can I not take another trajectory? That trajectory, the Brihaspati trajectory looks to be much more greater. Why not I take that trajectory? Then the whole thing would have been chaos. They are going on doing this thing, whatever nature has, as they are evolved in nature. Nowhere there is any desire. So the whole nature is a universal yajna of the universal Lord. Or you can say yajna of nature. Everything is done going on in a beautiful manner without any desire. So when a human being also performs whatever he is capable of, whatever he is meant to, everybody has got different capacities. Depending on the circumstances and depending on his own capacity, when he just go on doing without having any gain motivation, selfish motivation, impersonally he goes on doing, then it becomes a yajna. It becomes a contribution in the universal yajna of the Lord. Does it make sense to you? So this is another way of Bhagavad Gita is trying to expand our mind and make it free of raga dvesha, making it free of all constrictions, all selfish gain motivation, desire motivation, and making it like the sky-like or spatial, and doing in its own manner everything. For that, it is specifying all these things. In the process, in the 14th chapter, they have presented a Tri-guna model to attain the same goal again. To become gunatita is that there it is to become gunatita. I will come to that. That is our topic for these 2 days. Now the purpose everywhere is the same, that you become free of the usual gain motivation and you do whatever you are capable of depending on whatever the situation needs, being impersonal as an offering to the nature or as you are supposed to do in that manner. By that what will happen? There our Shastras use a different word. They say it is no more a karma. When karma becomes yoga, when we say that it is karma yoga, actually it is no more a karma, it becomes a kriya. The whole activity, unimaginable activity that is going on in the universe, it is all referred to as the kriya. Kriya means non-desire motivated. It is natural, it is spontaneous. Natural. Like that we have some natural tendencies, natural capacities, natural orientation. And wherever we are, if you are in USA it is one, if you are in India it might be different. If you are in the family it is one, if you are in the office it is different. So depending on the situation where we are and depending on our natural capacities, we will function. Yada yat kattum ayati tada tat kurute riju. Sukham shubham vapi ashubham vapi tasya cheshtahi balavat. Whenever whatever needs to be done, Go on doing in a straightforward, open, simple manner, without, like a child, like a bala. Now what will happen? By that, our work will no more be karma. Whenever we say karma, this karma word is related to causality. That is, it is always having a cause and effect chain. But when it is kriya, it is having the objective causality but no internal causality. It is very important to know that in Bhagavad Gita, they are not talking about the objective causality at all. That phalatyaga, it is widely misinterpreted and misunderstood. Bhagavad Gita never tells us that objective result to be renounced or left. You cannot, because whatever is the objective result, it is running by causality. And it is not only at the ultimate step. When you are coming here, every moment you are coming closer to this hall, and finally you are reaching the hall. After reaching the hall, you cannot say that, no, I did not want to reach the hall. You are doing it for an objective. Prayojanam anuddishya mandopi na pravartate. Unless there is an objective result which is aimed at, even a dull person will not do anything. Even a donkey will not do anything. Nobody will do. There is a result seen, and the whole universe is moving by objective causality. So we are doing. But what Bhagavad Gita wants us to renounce is the internal. That is, if the result is, objective result is the expected result, then we become happy. But if the objective result doesn't come out according to our expectation, then we become unhappy. This is the result in our mind. So if that result can be smoothened out, if that result can be renounced, then objective result will be clearly there. Everywhere, without objective result, there cannot be anything. Even in the kriya of the nature also, there is always objective result is coming. Suppose a meteor comes and hits, the earth will have whatever changes, it is there. You cannot say the result will not be there. But there is no desire motivation involved anywhere. That is the main point. So, to take us to that level where all our karma will become free of desire motivation, and we can also explain in various ways that that is the most efficient way of working also. That's not the topic now. That our efficiency becomes maximum in that case. So the very efficient model is the Tri-guna model. Why I am saying it is most important and efficient? Because here the practice is given. You cannot say that after listening that, but how, Swamiji? Generally, whatever we say, samatva or renunciation or vairagya, but how, Swamiji? How vairagya can be attained? How samatva can be attained? Here no excuse can be given. Because the practices are absolutely you have to do. Nobody, no guru or no teacher or no book can do it for you. You have to choose your lifestyle. You have to choose your food. You have to choose your actions. As you change, the results will be coming in. So the whole responsibility is thrown on the sadhak. That is why it is most important. The model is generally you will find in our scriptures the Tri-guna model. Tri-guna means sattva, rajas, tamas. These are the three gunas. It is constituting nature. We say prakriti. The prakriti is made of the three gunas, or three gunas are evolute of the prakriti. Whichever way say, it is same. But in 14th chapter, it does not speak so much about the external nature. It speaks about human personality. So the 14th chapter is fully discussing the sattva, rajas, tamas as applied to our personality. And it is a great chapter where it says that whatever you are born with, it is in your hand to change the guna constitution and go to higher and higher levels. That's a very important thing which finally leads us to Varna and all, Chaturvarna and all, which people again misunderstand and misinterpret quite a lot. Varna is not same as caste. Caste means jati, that is by birth, and Varna means color. Everything has got some Varna. It's not only human beings, the animals have some Varna, the trees have some Varna, everywhere in nature Varna is there. Now here that is being explained in terms of the constitution of the three gunas. So let us start with that, the three guna definition. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, essential constitutions of nature. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, they are discussed particularly for understanding, analyzing and improving human personality. The bondage created by them makes us think that the immortal free Atma is affected by their operations. Freedom means to get rid of the bondage created by the gunas, but not the gunas themselves. I will come to the shlokas now. But here this fourth point is very important. Again, it is widely misunderstood. Whenever we say gunatita, then we feel that he will no longer have the sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas. It is not so. Bhagavad Gita and everywhere, particularly Bhagavad Gita clearly says, na tadasti prithibhyamba divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakritijair muktam yadevhisyat trivirgunai. There cannot be any creation, any existence which is free of any one of the three gunas. Without the three gunas operating, there cannot be any creation at all. So there is no question of getting rid of the three gunas. What it says for the gunatita is that all the three gunas, they create some bondage in us by some delusion. So it is to get rid of those bondages. That is what the chapter discusses. So we should never think that we will not have sattva guna, or we will not have tamaguna, or we will not have rajaguna. All the three gunas have to be there to any existence to be there, even according to science also. See, if there is no rajaguna, means no energy, means no change. Change means energy. And energy means rajaguna. If there is no change, no energy, can there be any existence? Existence means there is energy, there is change. If there is no tamaguna, then the existence will never be stable. Tamaguna means inertia. Even for an elementary particle or anything you can think of in science, unless it has some life time for which it exists, it is not known. It will not be there. It is non-existent. So to exist, there has to be some sort of an inertia. That is mass and all we say generally. Inertia, without inertia, nothing can be there. That is tamaguna. And if something is not revealed, then that existence has no meaning. Suppose here so many things can be there in the atmosphere. Are we knowing them? We don't know whether they exist or not, what is existing there. We don't know anything. So there should be a revelation of that. Whatever is existing, it should get revealed. Without revelation, it has no meaning at all. So Sattva Guna is the revealing power, Rajoguna is the energy part of it, the action, and Tamoguna is the inertial part. So even according to science also, without these three, there cannot be any existence. So let us know that it has nothing to do with the Gunatita, does not mean that you will not have the gunas. Gunas will be there as long as the body is there, as long as the personality is there, all the three gunas will be there. The proportion of them, the functioning of them, all will be different. But for any mukta, any gunatita person, he will be freed of the bondage created by the tamoguna, rajoguna and sattvaguna. All the bondages created by all the three gunas, he will not have. He will be free of that. That is what is meant by gunatita. The fifth shloka in 14th chapter, it says, Sattvam rajas tama iti gunah prakriti sambhavaha. It is simple what I said, that they are the constituents of the prakriti. Nivadnanti mahabaho, O mahabaho, te nivadnanti, dehe, te dehe nivadnanti, avyayam dehinam, te avyayam dehinam dehe nivadnanti. The dehi means who is residing in the deha, means the atma. What is the dehi? He is avyaya. Avyaya means unchanging, imperishable, immortal. All these are applicable to the atma. Now our feeling is that that atma is residing in my body. And with the association of the body, we feel that I am getting bound to various things. I am suffering from the bondages to the bodily states, that my health is not all right or my mind is not all right, I am depressed, whatnot. So, it is actually a delusion. What he is saying is that as if the Atma is bound, the Avyaya Atma, which never changes, so there is no question of it becoming Sukhi, Dukhi, angry, anything at all. But we feel, because of the function of these three gunas, we feel that we are bound. So if we understand the function of these three gunas, how they are operating and what they are doing, and if we can get rid of that bondage created by them, then we will become liberated. We will become identified with the Atma. Although the body will function according to the three gunas, the body-mind personality will have the three gunas, but my identity, what I am thinking to be the I, that will be shifted. Try to understand this very well. It is not that body-mind personality will be completely changing. Body-mind personality is only getting rid of the bondages created by that. By that, what is happening? I am identifying with the real identity, Atma, which is absolutely untouched by anything. The real, universal, immortal, imperishable Atma. Where, when the body-mind personality going on, functioning according to nature, whatever it has to do. Is it understandable? So, saying that, he is introducing the three gunas. That is the 6th verse in the 14th chapter. 6th, 7th and 8th. These three are introducing the three gunas. I will reverse the 3. I will read from 8, then 7, then 6. 8th shloka says, Tamastu ajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabhihi tan nivadnati bharata. He says tamoguna is binding us by what? Tamaha tu ajnanajam vidhi. It is born of ignorance. Ignorance about our own self, ignorance about everything. Its very source is ignorance. Mohanam sarvadehinam. Its purpose is only to delude us. Because of the delusion, how do we suffer? Pramada, alasya, nidra, bhihi. These are the three kinds of bondages it creates. Pramada means inattention. Inattention means It's a mental property, an intelligential property. Pramada is not a physical property. That means it creates inattention, that all of us are suffering from pramada. It is because of the pramada only we are not knowing that we are the self. Otherwise, if you are attentive, then without that self, nothing can be done. Can you think of any experience where the self is not there? I is not there. Is it possible? Anything, even in dream, whatever we are experiencing, unless the I is there, it is not there. The I is always common, always stable in any experience, whether it is dream, sleep or wakefulness. All other things are changing. I never changes. But we always miss the I and hold on to all other things which are appearing on the I. Is it not pramada? Delusion. Suppose this mic. How am I seeing the mic? It has to appear in my consciousness. Through the eyes it may go, but the fact is that finally the mic must appear in my consciousness. I am seeing all of you. Unless all of you appear in my consciousness, I will not know your presence. Is it not? But our nature is such that this mic is appearing in the consciousness, but we will miss the consciousness because our attraction is on the mic. We will immediately see the mic, focus on the mic, but miss the consciousness, the substratum on which the mic is appearing. It is like there are waves in the sea, in the ocean. Your focus is on the wave, and we are missing the ocean. The vastness of the ocean is missed because our focus is on the wave. Suppose a mother's thought has come in the mind. Immediately what is mother doing, or she is not there, or whatever, we are catching hold of whatever mother has appeared in my consciousness. But where has the mother appeared? That we are missing. So in meditation also, that is the main suffering you are having. Why people are not able to meditate properly? The moment a sound comes from outside or somewhere, immediately the mind goes and holds on to the sound. Where is the sound appearing? It is in the same I, same consciousness which you are trying to know in meditation, discover through meditation. No? Then why your faces are not becoming bright? See, it is our nature that we always look for small things. So how can we know the self, which is all embracing, all pervading, greater than even the space? As long as our mind is small, looking for small joy, small love, small preference, prejudice, etc., getting hatred or getting disturbed by small things, small abuses, small denials. Such a mind, how can it know the Atma? Because Atma is unaffected, it is the universal everywhere. So until we are able to get rid of these tendencies of attraction and repulsion towards small things, we will not be able to realize the Atma. We may just know it, but realization will not be possible. I am not wanting to depress you. I am only trying to show that where our sadhana should be, how we should approach. So pramada means inattention. Now if we are inattentive in all our work, then can we be attentive in the meditation? That attention has to be cultivated everywhere. That is why when we go to the ashram, the main sadhana is in attention. That whatever we are doing, suppose I am pouring payasam in the vessel. Now the mind is in the meditation room, that today in the morning that man was singing absolutely besura and out of tune. That is why. So the payasam is overflowing, we don't know. When we are in the prayer hall, we are thinking of the Annakshetra. And when we are in the Nakshatra, we are thinking of the prayer hall. It is all pramada only. And we are suffering from that pramada every moment of it. So when the mind becomes free of all this ragadvesha and all, we will find that whatever we are doing, the whole being is focused on that. That is why the efficiency goes to the maximum. Yatra yatra manojati tatra tatra samadhayaha. Wherever the mind goes, the samadhi is right there. Samadhi is not anywhere else. The whole mind is completely focused, completely stable on whatever we are thinking. So that is the peak of efficiency for a person. That efficiency can be different for different people. But for the same person, the efficiency can be maximum. When his full potential is applied there, when the full focus, attention is there. So pramada is the mental and intelligential affair. Alasya means laziness. That can be mental, physical, mental as well as intelligential. I think alasya is not so much physical as much as it is intelligential. Think of the whole day, how much you have applied your intelligence. We don't apply, is it not? So by that it binds us. Pramad, alasya, nidra is when all the faculties are sleeping. This is the tamoguna effect. Pramada is created by tamoguna, alasya is created by tamoguna, nidra also is created by tamoguna. Now it is not that when you become gunatita, you will not have sleep. It is not so. Tamoguna will have its nidra effect, but it will not delude you anymore. It will have all the effects, but it will be only giving you a great feeling of stability. It will not have the jadatva. Jadatva means inertia. That whole inertia will be converted into a grand stability. Then before that, the 7th verse, Rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tan nivadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. He says the Rajoguna, its Atma, means its very identity, its very origin is ragatmakam, raga. Raga means color. Raga, the Shabda, basically means color. So the Rajoguna is applying the color. What kind of a color? It is everywhere applying the color of me and mine and others, and through that the color of likes and dislikes, raga and dvesha. So Rajoguna always provides the impetus to do towards whatever we are clinging. It is desire motivated activity. And also to run away from whatever we dislike. That they will not do. If the Rajoguni person dislikes meditation, he will never sit for meditation. He will always run after other things. He will be running on the trail. It's not that one should not run on the trail, but there will be a dislike for sitting and reading the scriptures, understanding the scriptures or meditating. There will be a dislike. So the Rajoguna is ragatmakam. It always applies the color of likes and dislikes. And by that, Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam. Where from it is coming? Trishna means thirst for that. If we like something, then there will be thirst to enjoy that. And what is Sanga? To cling to that. If we like, we will cling to that. If we dislike, we will hate that. Both are Sangas, plus and minus. Both are Sangas. So, suppose you are quarreling, A and B are quarreling. Now, normally quarreling will be a Rajoguna effect. They are fighting with each other, not physically fighting, but fighting with each other. Now the Sangha is so much that A, B, C, another person, both A and B dislike C. In that case, A and B will be abusing C or maligning C, and by that time they will become more and more, C will become hated by them. Is it understandable? A dislikes C, B dislikes C, A and B are talking between themselves, speaking ill of C. So by that their hatred will get strengthened more and more. This is the Sangha. We develop the Sangha. Actually, if you had not discussed with the friend, if A had not discussed with B, then the Sangha would have been less. The hatred would have been less. But by discussing, whatever good qualities of C were there, that also is forgotten. Only bad qualities C is having. As if I don't have any bad quality, only C is having. These are all Sangha effect and Rajoguna effect. Then comes Sattva Guna. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashaka manamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena janaga. He says that Sattva Guna is the purest. Its purpose is to reveal, is to give us the knowledge, reveal everything. But this also will bind us. Generally people think that Sattva Guna is very good, so we take Sattvika Ahara and Sattvika everything and we become more and more Sattvika, and then that's all. No. Sattva Guna will also bind. What is that? Sukha Sangena Badnati Jnana Sangena. It binds us by clinging to Sukha and clinging to Jnana. Now here I have a great correction. When they are saying Sattva Guna person is getting Sangha or clinging to Sukha, it is not ordinary Sukha. It is the Sattvika Sukha. That we have to understand. He is already a Sattva Guni. So the Sukha he enjoys is a Sattvika Sukha. So he clings to the Sattvika Sukha. And Jnana he clings to is the Sattvika Jnana. All these are discussed in the 18th chapter. 18.20, and we can go to this. Can we show the diagrams? Each guna is discussed. See, the Sattva Guna, you don't have to take photograph because these are all available there, you can take it. Everything is given. All the references are also will be given. This is 14.6, what we are doing now. This prakasha means light. That means it illumines. It can be physical illumination, but more is the knowledge illumination, internal illumination. It reveals. That is the effect in our buddhi, consciousness, when it reveals the truth. The buddhi, when the buddhi is enlightened with Sattva Guna, you will find that you are able to understand the Shastras, even reading yourself. Normally people will say that, Swamiji, when you are speaking we understand, but when going back home I read, I don't understand anything. That is because you have not cultivated Sattva Guna. When your buddhi is having enough of Sattva Guna constitution, then you will find that as if the Shastras have started speaking to you. It is not just the meaning. Meaning translation you can get from the books. But each word should convey some truth, which will strike your mind when the buddhi is Sattva Guna. So actually with the light of Sattva Guna, the buddhi is called Viveka Buddhi. Normally the buddhi we have is a Vishaya Buddhi. That means where I will get more money or property, or how will I look after this, look after. Those are all Vishaya Buddhi, means materialistic intelligence. That everybody has. Nobody has to learn. We have to learn, but everybody has. But what our Shastras want is the transform that into Viveka Buddhi, which will tell us the truth from the untruth. So leads to understanding, knowledge, purity. Grows discrimination, viveka buddhi. Reveals unity in diversity. That is, normally we find it very difficult that the whole world is so much of diverse, so many colors, so many things, everything is different. Then how to see the Atma there? It is not a vision of the eyes. The eyes will see everything that is in front. But seeing Atma in everything is a vision of the buddhi. It is called ikshana. It is not pashyana, it is called ikshana. Ikshana means with the buddhi we see the truth. That just now I said that all of you are actually, you might be there outside, that is different. But what I am interacting with, what I am knowing is all of you who are appearing in my consciousness. There the substratum is the consciousness or Atma. So actually it is all written on that Atma. You don't understand that? Everything is written on consciousness. As if in air if you write dog and you write God, both are air only. In water also it is like that. Like that the whole universe is written on the mind, on the consciousness. So the fundamental element, unless the consciousness is there, we will not know anything of the world. But we miss the consciousness, as I said just now, because our focus is on small, small things. So, with the buddhi getting illuminated, with the viveka buddhi, it becoming viveka buddhi, we find that oneness in underlying everything. That is what I have said. Reveals unity in diversity. Go to 18 point, if you have the book, 18.20 I think. No? Here, in the 18th chapter, everything has been distinguished. That's sattva, rajas, tamas. Jnana, sukha, then buddhi, dhruti, everything. They are either sattvika, rajasa, tamasa. Like that 3 divisions have been made. So here jnana they are saying 18.20. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate. See ikshate, ikshana. It is the Buddhist vision. Abhibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam vidhi sattvikam. That jnana is called sattvika jnana. So when a sattvika person is getting sangha, is getting bound by the jnana sangha, it is the sattvika jnana we have to see. You cannot look into the rajasika jnana and tamasa jnana. That is there. In the next few verses it is there. What is the rajasa jnana? What is the tamasa jnana? But since we are dealing with the sattvaguni person, he will be having bondage towards sattvika jnana. What is that? Sarva bhuteshu yena ekam avyayam bhavam ikshate. In all the divided, fragmented, objective appearances, he finds oneness, ekam, avyayam, unchanging bhavam. He finds the unchanging oneness in this variety. That means the Atma. Abhibhaktam vibhakteshu. Abhibhaktam means unfragmented. Everything here is fragmented. Underneath that, it is the unfragmented reality. That jnana is called sattvika jnana. So whenever we are studying about spirituality, about Atma, we are actually getting focused on this jnana, is it not? All the Shastras, Upanishads and all, we are repeatedly thinking of the Atma, which is the substratum of the entire variegated universe, which is one. So, what happens is that when you study so much, there is a bondage created by that also. You are reading the Shastras and there is a fire nearby. Oh, I am now in the heaven of knowledge. Let that be burned. Or somebody has come asking for something, they are in trouble. No, ask him to come some other time. I am now reading Shastras. This is the bondage. You are not attentive to what is happening around. Some people are there, even when the house falls or something happens, they will go away and study it sitting somewhere else. Let the wife set right the house. This is the bondage. But it is good that you are reveling in the Shastric truth, you are reveling in the Atmic truth. But by that you are getting bound. You are not able to act whatever is necessary in the circumstances. Puja also, the same thing happens. Not so much sattvika, but still it happens. Then the sukha sangena badnati. What kind of sukha? We have to see the sattvika sukha. Go to the 18.37. He says, Yat tadagre vishamiva pariname amritopamam tat sukham sattvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. What is the sattvika sukha? Suppose you are eating ice cream or chocolate or so. It is not vishamiva. It immediately, it is Indriya sukha, it is pleasing to our tongue, so I am eating. If I am having diabetes, then later on it will cause problem for us. And because of the greed for the sensation in the tongue, we will flout that and take. That is not sattvika sukha, that is rajasika sukha. Yat tadagre vishamiva. Sattvika sukha will be immediately, may not be pleasant. Maybe even like poison. Suppose that boys are only playing. They like to play. But you want them to study. So you have to force them to study now. For him it is vishamiva. But after he has studied and mastered the language or so, then he gets attracted to reading the books and all. He gets the sukha then. So initially learning the alphabet, learning the language was not liked. But once you have mastered, then whatever it has resulted in, you like that. So the sattvika sukha always come in a later stage out of some discipline. Nobody likes discipline, but discipline will result in sattvika sukha. Even in games also, play, suppose, sportsman. Initially it is so much of difficulty. It is vishamiva. How many times you have to practice the same thing again and again and again just to become a good sportsman. When you are becoming free with it. Even in music, what are we doing? Initially, if you play the instrument, all out of tune sound will come. When we are initially playing the oboe, boom, boom, boom. Now he is playing well. So he will get the joy of sura, that joy of tune will come. So sattvika sukha is always, it comes, the fundamental point there is, it comes out of a discipline. The discipline we have to go through, undergo, then only the real sukha will be resulting in. In food also, if you practice the discipline in food and take nutritious food in proper quantity, proper time and everything, initially it might be difficult, but you will find the body has a lightness, a proper stability, and the buddhi also gets illumined. So it is all sukha coming from the discipline. That is why Bhagavad Gita is repeatedly talking about tapas, tapas, tapas. Tapas means what? Austerity. Austerity means what? Left to ourselves, always there is a tendency to go towards the lower tendencies, to the lower ways of life. Is it not? Our sense organs will always try to indulge in their own preferences. So austerity means not to allow the sense organs to go that way or our mind to go that way. Why meditating? Because the mind is given to always thinking erratically all over everything you are thinking. Is it not? Throughout the day. And mostly useless things, not good things. So such a mind, you have to, the meditation we say that you have to withdraw from everything. So it is a discipline undergoing. If you can make the mind peaceful, then you will get a great joy, blissful it will be. Undergoing the discipline. Now if you don't undergo the discipline, then that will not be there. So sattvika sukha always will be through discipline. Now when it is a sattva guni, that means he has undergone the discipline and he is enjoying that sukha. But that sukha also he is binding him. And to respond to the situation, he has to overcome that bondage part of it. Not that he will start enjoying in the rajasa sukha or tamasa sukha. But the bondage of the sattvika sukha he has to outlive. Outlive, you understand? But it's not control or anything. It is outliving that. Knowing the truth, you have to go beyond that. When you are sitting for meditation, the common problem everybody has, that all thoughts will come. Is it not? So can you blame the thoughts for that? Throughout the day you have been thinking of all sorts of things. So when you are sitting and trying to empty your mind, all of them will come. That throughout the day you have been inviting me. All invitations I have received throughout the day, and now you are sitting without doing anything. Now is the time we should pounce you. They will come from all sides. Is it not? So we are doing wrong there. Unless the mind, we call it dhyana mukhinata. That means unless the mind is oriented towards the dhyana. Dhyana means what? Initially I have explained. Whatever the atmic dimension, the mind is oriented towards incorporating those dimensions. Unless that is there throughout the interactional period, when you sit for meditation, meditation will not come. But if you have through the interactions also incorporated, cultivated the atmic dimensions, the moment you sit for meditation, the mind will withdraw and come to the stable position. All of you are getting depressed, I think. Next. Oh, no, there is something. He says, reveals unity in diversity, dissolves preferential clinging. Because the oneness, once you start understanding, the preferential clinging of Rajoguna will go down. So it is actually winning over the Rajoguna bondage. To win over the Tamoguna bondage, we have to cultivate more and more of Rajoguna and Sattvaguna. Why? Because Tamoguna has got the alasya, the lethargy effect also, inertia effect. So Rajoguna is necessary to overcome the inertia. And Sattvaguna is necessary to overcome the fragmented nature of the Rajoguna and the inertial nature in the mind of Tamoguna. Both have to be overcome. You know that Vivekananda used to say about our country that our children should play football. They did not meditate. Vivekananda used to say, don't ask them to meditate, ask them to play football. Why? The country is under the clutch of Tamoguna. Before independence, that was the state of our country. So if they sit for meditation, they will simply doze. There is no question of their meditating. So let them play, let them cultivate good Rajoguna. Then they will be able to, they will become fit to practice Sattvaguna also, meditation also. Conducive to Vidya that leads to ultimate truth. Now here another concept is coming in. That whole trouble in our life is because of avidya, we say ignorance. What is that avidya? Not knowing our universal dimension. Thinking that I am small, limited by the body-mind personality. Now this avidya, our Shastras describe like this, that it has got two fangs. One is called avarana and another is called vikshepa. Avarana means covering. That means the first effect is covering our real identity. The moment our universal identity is covered, we start feeling I am the body, mind, limited, small I. The moment I become small, I run after things, run away from things. I start quoting greed, hatred, fear, whatnot, all those things. So all the troubles comes, that is the vikshepa part of it. So, conducive to vidya that leads to ultimate truth. Now this sattva guna will illumine us more and more about our real self. That is the vidya, means the knowledge part of it. So it will remove the avidya. That is what we meant to say. Next one. Desire motivated action, pravritti, leads to colored vision, raga dvesha, clinging to what we like, hating what we dislike. All these we have discussed. Enhances greed, insatiable thirst for desire motivated activities. It creates a fragmented vision or colored vision, opposes comprehensive vision of sattva guna. See, they are working against each other. The tamoguna will reduce the rajoguna's energial effect, the activity. Rajoguna will reduce the inertial effect of tamoguna. Rajoguna and tamoguna together will try to go against the sattva guna in two ways. How? Rajoguna will make the comprehensive vision fragmented, desire motivated vision, and run after this, run away from this, etc. And tamoguna will try to cover up the knowledge part of it, not allowing us to, it will not allow us to understand the truth. So we will be deluded. So always this struggle will be going on in us. It is the vikshepa power, distracting power of avidya, ignorance. Vikshepa means constantly make us run after what we like and run away from what we dislike. Third, sure. Buffalo. It is moha. Moha means delusion actually. Darkness, ignorance, delusion, inertia. Opposes activity and change, that is opposes rajoguna. Opposes enlightenment, sattva-guna. Leads to inattention, lethargy and delusion. These we have already discussed. It is the avarana, the veiling power of avidya. Because tamoguna does not allow us to know our real identity. It is the veiling power of avarana shakti. Next. See, here we tried to picture what happens when all the three bondages are removed. What are the three? To remove the tamoguna bondage, we have to take to rajoguna and sattva-guna. By that we will remove the tamoguna bondage. Then to remove the rajoguna bondage, we have to take to sattva-guna to remove the rajoguna bondage. But what happens to the sattva-guna bondage? How will you remove it? That needs more discussion. There, our Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and everywhere, it says there is only one way, that is called surrender. To being effortless. Let all the three gunas come and go. I don't bother about it at all. Surrender everything. So the surrender means there is no more desire. No more greed, no more desire. So it makes all the three gunas pure. So he is having all the three gunas playing in him, but not a single guna producing any bondage. So I have said here that, see the top, pure sattva. That means they are not producing bondage. Sattva guna is no more producing bondage. That is effortless knowledge. He remains in the divine truth. It's not effortful anymore. The effort has gone because the bondages have been removed. So he remains in the divine knowledge of the pure sattva. Pure rajas, effortless action in harmony with divine will. This is what I said, that the whole universe is moving with pure rajas. It is the desire which is polluting the Rajoguna activity. So when the desires are removed, he can work like 10 persons also, but he will not do anything motivated by desire. A saint, a knower can work much more than the other people. He will apply his full potential everywhere, whatever he does. Will do at least 10 people minimum work of 10 persons or more. But nothing hinders nothing bounds him by the action, because it is all not desire motivated. So there we say that he is acting according to the divine will, because he doesn't have any desire of his own. As the nature is working, as the earth is working, as the flowers are blossoming, he also does whatever he is capable of. Pure tamas is undisturbed peace and stability. It is no more, we will not call it inertia anymore. It is undisturbed peace and stability. You will find these effects come, these experiences come in meditation also. That one sincere sadhak will pass through all that. Find that the whole being will have almost you can say a cosmic stability. Very much enjoyable. But it is tamoguna. You don't feel like working at that point. Go anywhere. Remain there. This we can take up tomorrow. This is where we are going from the gunas to the Trigunatita. Because it's already 12 o'clock. Or shall we do something? They are already sleeping, I think. I will stop now. More than 1.5 hours of lecture is not good. More than 1 hour it should not be. But I thought these are all very, very important and new points which are not written in the book, so you will be attentive.
Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nityabodhaswarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sada nusmarami pranaumi.